I believe I preached on Palm Sunday before here, but it would have been maybe 7 or 8 years ago, something like that. So 2/3 of you weren't here, so I don't expect you to remember what I said last time. The remaining third, you can tell me at the end whether I've been consistent, whether I've changed my interpretation of the passage. Now, not long after I started working at the Minster, I'm retired now, not long after starting in the education department, one of the clergy said to me, "What's the difference between a liturgist and a terrorist?" I haven't heard this one before, so I couldn't really come up with an answer. I expect some of you have heard it before. The answer is you can negotiate with a terrorist. We're thinking about worship today. Liturgists are people who study patterns of worship, the ancient prayers, the modern prayers, the order that they go in. We do have a section for being pretty intransigent. So we'll adopt a position and hold it through thick or thin without compromise. But I can't really claim to be a liturgist. So you're all right. However, when I realised I was preaching on Palm Sunday, I was delighted, thrilled. It's a great story, isn't it? Everyone knows it, thinks they do. It's in all 4 Gospels. Even John, you know how picky he can be regarding context, although for good theological reasons. There's tension, colour, dramatic irony. Now that's here to speak for a situation where the audience knows what's going to happen next, but don't. Very effective theatrical technique. But I have to own up to a misguided assumption that it wouldn't take too long to prepare this because the content is so well known. If only. Today's theme is worship in the context of discipleship. And I soon discovered all sorts of fascinating byways and avenues, so I've had to be quite disciplined about how to approach it without going down too many rabbit holes. There's a lot of praising going on, and obviously praise is a key element of worship. But the events of Palm Sunday, I think, have a distinctly Old Testament feel, and that is clearly intentional. Jesus, as we heard, rides into Jerusalem on a donkey, surrounded by cheering crowds. Pretty well everyone there will see the reference. Judaic kings rode donkeys and mules rather than horses. This was partly because of rights, and partly it had riding in peace, whereas the horse can signify coming. Even when biblical kings went into battle, they did so usually in chariots, which of course were called horses, but they didn't sit in the sun. It's often claimed, isn't it, that the New Testament Jews anticipated the Messiah coming as a warrior on a white horse to overthrow Romans. I'm pretty sure this is the modern cliche. If they knew their scriptures, which certainly did, they'd surely be anticipating and the donkey. Indeed, Matthew tells us that the prophecy is being fulfilled here. I heard it twice actually this morning already, quoting a few lines from Zechariah. Behold, your king is coming to you, humble and mounted on an ass. Now, incidentally, as a child, I was rather confused by the word colt, which we had in our reading of ass, follow an ass, because to me, a colt is a young horse, and yet we know that it wasn't a horse. Jesus went to Jerusalem on. But apparently, round about the time the Bible was being translated into English, so approximately 500 years ago, something like that, the word colt could mean more or less any 4-footed beast, including a camel, that he was on the bottom. So, no, it is there, and it's linked up with the. It's interesting, isn't it? It's not. It's interesting, isn't it? That Jesus has the disciples, he says, Actually, animal, but his animals, plural, he brings them along as well. And I've often wondered about that. But I suppose it's a kindness he would have known that the colt, and he was called it, must be quite distressed, particularly in a big noisy crowd. His mother present. So maybe that's why both of them would seem to have been brought to Jesus. I always get the feeling that despite Jesus' messianic humility when riding on the ass, the crowds are really quite tumultuous. We know they cried out repeatedly, as we have in one of our songs today. Hosanna to the Son of David. Blessed is he who comes in the name of Christ. It was all very public. What does Hosanna mean? Different scholars have slightly different opinions concerning its precise meaning and origin. But by and large, they all seem to agree that it's essentially a call for deliverance or salvation, whether physical or spiritual. The name Jesus, Yeshua, Joshua, means Saviour, or perhaps God is salvation. Now, I imagine there might have been a few hallelujahs shouted as well, but that's not. The etymology of hallelujah is a linguistic nightmare. That would be another radical thing to go down. I do think it's likely there was quite a bit of psalm singing going on as well. The Psalms, after all, were the hymns of the Jewish people, and they continue to be read and sung by the new Israel, that's us, to this day. In fact, there was a time in certain parts of Europe, particularly in England, and even more so in Scotland, when the Psalms were the only music that was actually allowed in church at all. Singing the Psalms, you didn't sing anything else. And it had to be unaccompanied. And this tradition has actually survived up until the present in some of the remoter parts of the West Highlands of Scotland and the Outer Hebrides, where there are just a few, just a handful now, popularly known as we-free congregations, who sing the Psalms in Gaelic, unaccompanied, and that's the only music they have. Now, I'm not saying that the Psalms are the only things that we should sing, but it's an interesting relic of the time when people thought very, very deeply and very passionately about what the right way to worship was. I'm not saying it is right to worship. People justifiably occur. It's interesting to compare the Psalms with modern praise songs. And this reminded me of a while ago of this ongoing conversation with a college friend. I'm going to call him Robert, because some people this was back in the early 70s. And I remember him saying to me once, because he did have a real faith struggle. And he said to me, the trouble with the songs that we sing in Christian Union meetings is you're constantly telling God things he already knows. And thus be addressed directly to God, who surely if they're addressed to God, who is omniscient, he's all-knowing, he knows everything, so why do we keep turning? Oh, and by the way, is he dead? Because he keeps repeating himself again and again and again. Now, in a way, I think this is a fair question. God is indeed all-knowing, but does not Scripture constantly exhort us to praise Him in our life? Do not the Psalms in particular stress this point? Now, it occurred to me that it might be worth looking at the first couple of verses of each psalm in order to ascertain whether they are to the people. In other words, to us. Now, don't worry, I've already done this so that you don't have to. I mean, we really would be here all day of each of the Psalms. Now, according to my calculation, which is anyone who's ever had a calculation, a bit dodgy, to say the least. Numbers are not my thing, but it does work out roughly half. But many of the Psalms directed at us, the people, as opposed to God Himself, assure us powerfully that it is indeed good to praise and give thanks to our God. Indeed, some of them changed tack partway through in the 23rd chapter. Really good example. It begins with, the Lord is my shepherd. David is telling the people that the Lord is his shepherd and their shepherd. But about halfway through, the he of God becomes you, becomes thou. And in the second, the remaining list at the start, he's talking about God. Now, I seem to remember when I was at school and the teacher told us that in Hebrew poetry, you often have a statement followed by the same statement in slightly different language, in slightly different grammar and context. And it might be something to do with that, but I think it's absolutely spot on. You know, our prayers are to God, but we're also in public worship. It's private thing, but in public we're addressing the congregation as well. And it's for those of us who can be able to do it, it's worth bearing this in mind. We shouldn't make every time we talk to some slightly guilty. I don't know whether else is, but you know, I'm talking. Okay. Of course, I've completely lost my place. Never mind. In that context, we thank God for his goodness and mercy. The switching of emphasis is in quite a few of the Psalms. I also can't remember exactly how I answered the friend's question, or if I answered it satisfactorily at all. Perhaps not, because we're still having this conversation almost 50 years later. I'm increasingly inclined to see the answer in the context of the fact that we are each made in God's image. That may or may not mean that we look like him, but it certainly means he has emotions similar to ours, or we share with him a kind of common emotional bond. God does not strictly need our praises, but I believe he delights in them, because he understands our needs, our need to offer them. Loving parents, after all, would be overjoyed by a grateful child, because they know that gratitude is good for their child. Now, I sometimes, just now and again, receive wholesome thanks and even praise from members of the public who have given a good tour of your ministry. Now, I don't need their thanks and praise, because I know how to tell myself, but it still feels good. And I do think it would be a major mistake to assume that God can't feel pleasure at our thanks and praise that we offer in our public worship and our private prayer. In any case, my friend's remark, though sincere, is a little unfair. After all, Christian liturgy and music have always been made a major element. It's not just modern stuff. Oh, when I say modern, 1970s here. So that's when this conversation. One of my favourites is the more traditional hymns, Great Thou Art. And I've never heard anyone complain. Even though it does, actually. In some ways, I think the worship we see in Jerusalem on Sunday marks a kind of watershed. As Holy Week continues, we see the institution of a new thing, Holy Communion, and ultimately the death and resurrection of the Messiah. Suddenly, the liturgical patterns of the Old Testament paint an even clearer picture as so much prophecy is fulfilled. For this reason, we don't abandon the old forms, but celebrate them more richly, both in old songs and new, old styles of worship and new expressions of church, as appropriate for each set of circumstances in which we find ourselves in the presence of Almighty God. Amen.